Welcome back to Opinion Journal Live. I'm joined now by Ralph Reed. Ralph, how you doing?
Very good. Good to be with you, Dan.
All right, great to see you. Ralph, you've written a really interesting article for us. It was called Round Up the Usual Social Conservative Subjects, and you're addressing the idea that social conservatives and the social issues cost Mitt Romney and the Republicans the election. I thought it was a very provocative article. I wonder if you could just summarize for us quickly what your argument was there.
Yeah, first of all, Dan, as I say in the article, we've seen this movie before. It seems like every time the Republicans lose a presidential election, there's an effort by some, both outside the party but also inside the party, to try and lay the blame on social conservatives. And I just don't think the data backs up that fact. Just take one data point, which is that Obama won single women by more than 2-1, 68 to 32%. But when you drill down and look at what they voted on, 45% of them voted on jobs in the economy. Probably about 20% voted on education. Only 8% voted on abortion and less than 1% on contraception. So for all this argument that the conservative social positions that the Republican Party has staked out have hurt them among other voters, it's just not backed up by the evidence. On the plus side of the ledger, Mitt Romney actually got more evangelical votes than George W. Bush did in 2004. Really pretty extraordinary. They totaled almost half of all the votes that Mitt Romney received.
Well, that's right. And let me pursue that a little bit with you. The idea by some of the conservative commentators now that their party has to moderate some of its views on things like abortion suggests to me that they are willing to put at risk what you were just describing, this evangelical support, as well as perhaps the support of all of those states along the southern tier that have now gone completely Republican. I mean, this seems to me to be a dilemma for these people. They can't have it both ways on the social issues.
Well, I think that's right, Dan. I mean, look, as I say in my piece, I think that the Republicans have now lost 4 out of the 6 presidential elections held since the Berlin Wall fell. And those 2 elections that they won, one of them they lost the popular vote. So they clearly need to do some things different. But the largest single constituency in the electorate today, larger than the union vote, which is about 14% of the electorate, larger than the African-American vote, larger than the Hispanic vote. The biggest vote out there is self-identified conservative evangelicals. They're between 23 and 27% of the electorate, depending upon which poll you look at, and they voted 80% Republican. When you add to them their social conservative allies in the Catholic faith community, by the way, about 1 out of every 10 voters is a Roman Catholic who attends Mass once a week or more frequently. They voted 67 to 32% Republican. So the strategy going forward isn't to pursue the politics of subtraction and tell those voters of faith to go away. The strategy is to practice the politics of addition and to add women, young people, and Hispanics to the coalition without subtracting what you already have.
Well, we've got about a minute left, Ralph. I think another important point that was raised in the article was these are not primarily religious votes that these people are casting. They were, in many cases, economic votes, but cast by religious people.
No, that's a very good point. I think one of the dirtiest little secrets in American politics is evangelical voters, like all voters, are voting primarily on jobs in the economy, healthcare, and education, but they are pro-life, pro-marriage, and pro-family.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ralph. Always great to talk to you.